What is going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, and this time I'm in Ridgewood, Queens. I made a video here 2 years ago during the pandemic from Myrtle Avenue, walking from downtown Brooklyn all the way here, but I've never been in this side. I'm in Fresh Pond Road. I got off the subway train, so I'm gonna walk deep further all the way down there until I make it to Myrtle Avenue. That time it was the nighttime, this time it's the daytime, so far it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what the neighborhood has to offer, so I'm gonna take you guys with me, so join me. So one interesting thing about this neighborhood is that it borders Bushwick, and Bushwick is actually in Brooklyn, but this is actually the Queens. And then on the other side of this neighborhood is also Mass Path, Glendale, and Queens, but also East Williamsburg borders with this neighborhood. So I think it's pretty interesting. And mostly, Bushwick gets all the attention, but I think this neighborhood also has a lot to offer. It might be a little bit underrated because a lot of people, they don't mention much about it. So I'll make a little detour in this area and you can see how residential it is. So it's like a lot of apartment complex happening over here. And this is within a block from Fresh Pond Road. But now I'm gonna make my way back and I'm gonna show you guys the main street, Fresh Pond, and probably gonna make it to Myrtle Avenue to see what's going on over there. And I'll probably make a detour in a couple of roads around here to show you what the neighborhood's like. So far it's pretty lovely. And I gotta say the weather is perfect today. Not hot, not cold, but it's a beautiful day in the summer evening. So perfect day to explore this neighborhood. So as you guys can see, I don't know if it's a little bit windy, but this is actually Fresh Pond. And you're gonna see like a lot of shops around. Even across the street, there's cafe, restaurants, gyro shops. Beautiful spots. They even got like an empanada street food over here. There's a deli across the street. Then the M train is right there ahead of me where I got off. But now I'm gonna go on the other side to show you what's going on. Here's a food market with the fruits and vegetables. You guys know that I'm a fan of looking at all that. Then the subway line is over here. It kind of resembles a little bit of the neighborhoods in Chicago, Illinois. Like neighborhoods like this, I got the subway line that goes above. This is the heart of Queens, New York. And Queens is one of my favorite boroughs in New York City. Like I said in videos before, New York City is not just Manhattan. There's so many boroughs to explore. There's 5 boroughs, and each borough has this different type of neighborhoods to explore. So that's one of the things I want to do with this channel. This is 67th Avenue. And if you merge, it's like a residential area. Like I said in my previous video, when I made a video around here, I ended a little bit before by Myrtle Avenue. I never made it to this part, Fresh Pond. I was trying to stretch it here, but I was so tired. Like I say, I walk all the way from downtown Brooklyn to here for the track of Myrtle Avenue, which is a long street. But now I'm over here, so I decided to come back and do a video just for the neighborhood of Ridgewood. So I made a little detour up the Fresh Pond Road because I want to show you a little bit with the residential area. Like I say, it looks a little bit like Brooklyn, but like I say, this is literally the borderline of Brooklyn, but I can show you what's going on. Like if you go to neighborhoods like Brooklyn, like Bushwick, Sunset Park, they got apartments like this with this structure of buildings, like the architecture. I think it's what makes the neighborhood pretty unique. I really like the curve of this entrance over here, structures. Like I say, for me, it's just a little thing. Might not be like a big deal for you guys, but it's just a thing about architecture that I like, the way how they design all these buildings. Especially like the old architecture is just unique. Then another thing I noticed about the road is that it's pretty quiet. Not too many people going on around. But I think it gets much busier when I go to Myrtle Avenue. That's where you're gonna see the difference. Because it's mostly like a district. This is another avenue that merges Cypress Hills. So I guess it starts all over there, but then Fresh Pond keeps going over here. And then I see the way how they have the design of the avenue, 69th Avenue. And when it's like that color of brown, it's usually because it's like in a historic district. I know you can't really zoom in with this camera, but it says it on the top. Ridgewood Historic District, so this is like an historic neighborhood. So now let's make a little turn over here, because this is a beautiful street. You can see the beautiful architecture over here. Like the apartments. Yeah, I'm really loving it. So unique, Like I say, it resembles a little bit of a mixture of Park Slope with Sunset Park. So it's like each avenue here in Ridgewood is an adventure. pretty much looks similar. The same tree row houses with beautiful architecture. This is still one of the main streets, Fresh Pond Road. Like I said, I'm gonna keep going deeper to Myrtle Avenue, then later I will merge to one of those streets. Maybe see if I can find a park. It's getting a little bit windy over here, but like I say, so far, beautiful, lovely neighborhood. Like I say, a neighborhood that they don't really mention much, you don't hear much about it, but like I say, that's the beauty about New York. There's so many types of neighborhoods, so many things to do, so you never get bored, you know. And then over here, here merges Myrtle Avenue, the other main street. And I don't know why, for some reason this neighborhood kind of resembles a little bit, there goes a car. For some reason this neighborhood kind of resembles a little bit the other city that I cover in Jersey, Bayonne. Like the same style, you know, peace and quiet and how wide the streets are, but I've never been in this part. I know there's like I think there's like a movie theater also in this street. So it should be pretty interesting. One thing I like about this neighborhood right here in Queens is that compared to the neighborhoods like Williamsburg and Bushwick, this one keeps it pretty original, pretty authentic. Like it's like a local vibe, but at the same time like a nice neighborhood. So you know, you got the original stores, and it feels like a small town in the middle of the city. So that's something that I like, that I think is pretty interesting. Like I said, the streets are wide. There's a Walgreens right across the street. So like I said, it kind of gives you a feel like if you're in a small town. So like I say, in New York City, you can find a little bit of everything. If you want like the craziness of the city, you can find it. But if you want peaceful too, you can find it also. And also it's a pretty convenient neighborhood. You can just walk around and you find restaurants, you find shops, even body work. I'm not sure if it's a massage parlor, but a beauty salon, but I'm looking at it right here. Then like another fresh market, just like I saw in Fresh Pond Road, and this is the salon right here, the body work. And the difference is you don't see the crowd over here going crazy, so it gives you like a quiet vibe. So I think this is a really lovely neighborhood to be and probably live. There's a couple of coffee shops here. I think if I walk towards that way, it starts getting a little bit better. Another market over here, and that's one thing I like about New York City. No matter what neighborhood you go, you always see markets with fresh fruits and vegetables. And then here you got like a little plaza, 71 Avenue. I can cross. Like I said, this is a beautiful neighborhood, and I think you guys should explore it, you know. But look, they got a plaza here with the tables, so you can sit down, have your food, or, you know, drink some beverage. Like healthy options, there's like a juice shop over there, I believe. Gotta say, the weather was nice, but I feel like it's starting to get a little bit hot now. I guess the more I walk in the concrete, the hotter it gets. But I still enjoy it because it's summertime. Like I say, this neighborhood, you can find it all. And a lot of stores I see in other neighborhoods, I see it here too, so pretty cool. And then, like I say, the street keeps going. But today is like a quiet evening, and I think it's still, because it's early, like 4 o'clock, I guess later when people get off for work, you probably see some more activity happening over here. Actually from here it's crazy because I can see the skyscrapers from Manhattan. I believe so. Or maybe Brooklyn, because I know now Brooklyn has its own tall downtown. Iconic building, I guess before it used to be a movie theater, but now they turn it into a fitness center, Blink, but you can see it say it's Ridgewood over there on the top. But now it's actually a gym, but it's still pretty cool. Like I said, the main street keeps going. A lot of outdoor dining over here. So it gets, you know, pretty good for the summertime. Then you're gonna see a lot of shops, from phone shops, from restaurants, from jewelry, from everything that you imagine, they have it over here. So then I'll show you a little bit what the street looks like when you do a detour. Pretty beautiful, like a tree-lined street with the beautiful apartment complex. Last time that I came, this is actually where I ate. I didn't film it because, you know, I did a long walk and I wanted to join the moment, but this is where I ate, and the food was pretty good. And I met, you know, a gentleman from Ecuador, and we were just chatting. So not sure if this restaurant is still open, but yeah, it's a good restaurant. Let me just walk around here to see what's going on. So it looks like they're doing some repairs right now, but actually it's open because I see somebody in the entrance. So I'm just gonna walk around here, and yeah, it's still open, so really good food. And You got the meal, the combos, what they offer. They're doing some development, so you can see this old building over here still got the old original design. Century department store. This that you see here is actually the borderline. To my right hand is Queens, and then to this side is Brooklyn, Bushwick, Brooklyn. So this is actually, this train station kind of divides the boroughs of New York City, Brooklyn, and Queens. So I'm walking in between the two boroughs. The subway line passes above the street. So kind of the separation of Queens with Brooklyn. Like I said, this is Queens right here. Then over there where you see the business, that's Brooklyn. So now I'm walking around Cypress Avenue. I'm gonna probably walk a couple more blocks and make a detour in a random street just to see what the streets around here look like. Like I already showed you some of the beautiful streets by Fresh Pond, so let's see what the street looks like around here. I'm walking around Madison Street, and pretty interesting street, you know. A lot of apartments, they look pretty much similar, the same structure of building. But it's really cool. Like I say, this is Queens, but at some point it kind of has the feel of Brooklyn because it's literally like in the borderline with Brooklyn, which I'll show you. I was there like a couple blocks down. But yeah, this is pretty interesting here, and I think this is a really underrated neighborhood. So this is like one of the regular street looks like, and all the buildings look pretty similar, but there's like a unique architecture, the way how they have all this curvy structures by the windows, just like this one. It's pretty nice. Look like a 360 view. Just keep going, and across the street they got more beautiful buildings. So over here there's a tiny park, and I'm passing over the subway train, the M line. It goes all the way here. There's actually a stop over here, but then, like I said, beautiful street with the trees and everything, and then it turns more residential over this way. So I'll probably do one more block, but then I'll wrap up the video because I think I show pretty much about Ridgewood, Queens. See, the park is over here, then you got regular houses over here. So like I say, the neighborhood of Ridgewood is pretty much residential, but it got its beautiful main streets with a lot of business, a lot of shops to do, you know, a lot of things to do around. So like I say, pretty interesting neighborhood. Then one thing I never seen around New York that I think it makes the neighborhood pretty interesting is, I know above ground the subway train passes, but the fact that it passes between the apartment and the houses, that's pretty interesting. I just missed one like a few seconds ago. A subway train passed here, so I don't know if another one's gonna come, but it'll be pretty interesting to look at it. See just some regular apartments, and then look. So I know it must not be cool to live around here when the subway train be passing every time. Unless there's some type of sound approval in the apartments, but I doubt. So there you guys saw the subway train passing around the neighborhood. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video over here. That was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this walking tour of Ridgewood, Queens. So be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.